Hello everyone and welcome back to another Redstone Project episode, and today we are doing, oh man, Creative Wars. Look at that big banner right there. Oh man, oh it looks so nice. And then we have some YouTubers up here that I am fans of. I'm doing that mostly because hopefully one of my favorite YouTubers, Parker, will be playing this. And so yeah, I tweeted at him and he said he would play a map if I sent it to him. So yeah, so I make sure to put him in the middle with the full diamond armor. But enough of that. Let's get into the minigame itself. Basically, well, I can read the book to explain it to you. And this works that if you press the button, the nearest person will get a book. So yeah, Creative Wars, a map by BuildMineSurvive. Basic rundown: you will have 10 seconds in creative mode to gather supplies. Then you fight. Good luck. And yeah, that's basically what you do. And then next, this is rules. All rules are controlled by command blocks. You can't get any unbreakable blocks. No god/notch apples. No going in the water. You will get wither 5. And then there's also, this is a red versus blue team minigame made completely in vanilla using command blocks. To start the game, there needs to be at least 2 players on different teams. And if Parker plays this, I would be so happy. Man, and if you click that, yeah, you like that? Yeah, I just thought I'd add that in for a little touch. As I do in almost every single Redstone Projects episode, I will need to disable the function that makes it so that a team wins, because the way this works is that when there are no members left on one team, you'll win. And of course, if I'm playing by myself, there's gonna be no members left on a team. So I gotta break that redstone and break that redstone. So now we're good to go. Now I can actually test this out. And also, if there was if there were players on red and blue, this glass would go away and people could press the start button. So yeah, once there were teams on both teams, this glass would leave, and then anyone could press the start button, and this sign updates. See, right now it says game in progress, status no. That'll change from no. Watch, when I click it, watch it, get ready. Status, yes, see that? Like that. Welcome to Creative Wars. You'll have 10 seconds, and creative to gather as many resources as you can get. Get ready. And so yeah, you'll be put into creative in 3, 2, 1. Now if you didn't know, this is the map, and you can't break blocks because you're outside the world border and you won't die. But yeah, you can go into creative. I'm in creative. I can get like blocks of diamonds. I could get potions, spawn eggs, all sorts of stuff. But I can't get like bedrock. If I try and get bedrock, well, I was gonna show you, but if you try to get bedrock, there's a command block that'll clear it. But yeah, and there's also 9 random chests. There's one that appears in the beginning, and also I think it's every 2 minutes. I have it set to every 2 minutes a random chest will appear in the middle. I'm not quite sure how long these maps will be, these games, but yeah, I haven't really had a lot of players to test it. I have tested it multiplayer like once. Oh, really? I'm gonna have to punch through that. I could just go game mode 1. It doesn't really matter because I'm just testing this out. But what did we get? Oh, we got the efficiency 10 fortune X, and we got some knockback 5 sticks. Nice. So yeah, we can share these among our teammates because these are really good. Because as you know, the water is as poisonous, gives you wither, and also says get out of the water or you will die in chat. I'll probably make that chat bold before this comes out, but yeah. So I was on red team, so I spawned over here, and now you're in survival mode, so you can break blocks, and there's grass, stone, and then just water underneath that. That's pretty much what the game is in itself. Just team blue, and also you probably won't fight for a little bit because you need to gather resources, and the areas up there, I can't really see it very much, but I guess you can kind of see it, but it doesn't matter. You also have these 2 big trees that will actually decay if you start breaking stuff, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not quite sure how it happens. It's just so when using the /fill command, it gets like that. Wow, that got laggy in there, but whatever. So yeah, and I gave them pickaxes because if they got diamond ore or something, they could use the fortune on that. And also, I think they get more leaves if they do that. I mean, or something like that. I'm not entirely sure myself, but it would also help if they use like obsidian, because efficiency 10 works pretty good on obsidian. Game mode 0. So yeah, if I'm in game mode 0, I can dig through pretty much anyone's obsidian barrier pretty quickly. So another supply chest has spawned in the middle. Again, I'm not sure how long these games will be. I'll probably do some updates to this map in the future, maybe more features. I was originally gonna have some missiles from Seth Blink's Missile Wars game come in, but oh man, we got the Power 5 Infinity 1 bow. That's yeah, but it has durability. So this is Power 10. So this bow is pretty OP. Along with that, I'll also show you all the chests you can possibly get. But yeah, it's wither something or other. But you take hearts pretty quickly, and it's really hard to swim in this because you're taking so much damage. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, whatever. Let me just die. Boom, I wither away, and then boom. You see I was in that little area? Well, that is the death chamber that resets all your scores. See, now on the sidebar it says teams blue 0, red 0. And in case anyone's here, you can't do anything. You can't join a team, because how the team joining works is if you step on red wool, you'll join a team. If you step on blue wool, you'll join a team. But it's using a radius, so that only players within a 60 block radius of the redstone over there will be put onto teams. That way, if you place wool in the map itself, it won't actually switch your team or anything like that. So yeah, I've been trying to eliminate as many bugs as possible. It seems like when I try and fix one, like I get 20 more. But I really like how this book came out. I did not do this by myself for the code. Oh, I used a website. It's called like MC Tracker, I think. And yeah, it's pretty easy to use. You just type in what you want. Took me a while to get this stuff centered and stuff. Oh yeah, when you mouse over that, it says look me up on YouTube. So yeah, just click that. Also, there's spectating. This feature took me a while to implement, but yeah, it's basically you can spectate, and you click in the chat when you want to stop. And see, this tree has been decaying for a little while now. Getting some apples, good source of food. In case you forgot food, because you need food in this too, because you can't forget that. So yeah, if you go outside the world, it'll teleport you back. But if I click this in the chat, boom, I'm back. And if I click it again when I'm not spectating, it'll say invalid trigger name. So I better make this game end. So when the game ends, as you see right here, red team wins, better not next time blue. That was really loud. Everyone gets teleported to the middle. Let me turn my volume down to around 33. It's all bold in the chat. Now it's resetting the map. Basically what it does is it clears all blocks from map, as it says in the chat. Now this gets very, very laggy. So I think I'll either time-lapse this portion or just skip through it. So it doesn't take very long, but here we go. Alright, map is reset and ready for another round, and this sign would have said status resetting. So how I make it so that the players can't leave, but these are all barrier blocks. If you hold a barrier block, you can see them, but if you're not holding one, you can't see them. It takes a while for them to disappear, but yeah, they're unbreakable. You can't see them. You still got that box around them in survival, but the whole map is surrounded with them. And so yeah, as you can see here, anything that happened during the game was completely obliterated. Every single block was cleared from this entire map all the way up to the top of this barrier, and then all of it was removed, and every single block was put back. All these trees, everything, even all the items and entities were cleared. So 100% full reset every single time a game is over. So these are all the command blocks to reset the map. These are the ones that clear it until we get to around here, and then these are blocks that place everything. So yeah, that works pretty well. Now I'm gonna go over most of the redstone. Hopefully I'll keep it short, but because there's a lot of redstone to go over. So yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so I think the first thing I will go over is how you join the teams. So as you can see here, basically all that it's doing is executing at any player, radius of 60, and it's detecting to see if they have red wool. So it's detecting one block underneath them, and it's testing for Minecraft wool 11. 11 is red, I believe. It's either 11 and 14 are blue and red. Okay, so yeah, 11 is blue. And so if you have blue wool under your feet, it'll execute the command. You could put a slash here, but it doesn't really matter since it's a command block, and you don't need a slash to execute a command. So scoreboard teams join blue nearest player, and because you're executing the command as the player that's on top of the wool, you're the nearest player, so you join the team. So yeah, and same thing for red, except it's wool 14 because that's the damage value of red wool, and join red team. And so next over here are these two. So this one will trigger, and these two will trigger really, really fast. And this is basically just a tell raw, and it uses the same principle, which is, but this will execute at any person that is team red, and a radius of 60. So only after you've joined team red and your radius of 60 and you're standing on red wool, then it will say you joined red team. And it's the same exact system, except instead of saying you joined red team, it'll teleport you back to the middle of the lobby. So when you step on the wool, it puts you on the team, tells it in the chat, and then teleports you back very quickly. Also, you can kind of glitch it, so if you jump up and down, it kinda sometimes won't always do it. So the next thing, let's go back to the random item thing. So yeah, this is 2400 ticks, which is 2 minutes. And then as soon as this goes back and forth, every 2 minutes, it'll trigger this, which will then place one of these 9 random command blocks. And then after it's placed one of those 9 command blocks, this command block will get rid of it, and this redstone block will trigger the command block as soon as it's placed. And after that is done, it'll say in the chat, or a title, it'll say an OP supply chest to spawn in the middle, and then it'll do /particle huge explosion at the chest itself. Now, the clone commands are all in here, and if I take a random one out, it's just clone a certain block to a certain place. So yeah. So these 9 random command blocks are assigned to these 9 random chests over here. So I also put command blocks next to them because these are the clone commands I needed to use for them, and it was just easier to set it up. So yeah, this is one of the chests: instant health and efficiency 10, fortune 10. This is a nice one. Pushing to strength 1, and all the blocks of the major resource types. Power 10, infinity 1, you've already seen that one. There's this one, then there's a sharpness 10, fire respect 1, protection 10, protection 10, protection 10, and protection 10. So, yeah, some of it is a little bit OP, because if you put on like a protection 10, just a helmet, you pretty much can't die from swimming in the wither water, so you're pretty much good there. Now, another thing I would like very much to go over is the spectating. Now, the spectating, I think, is one of the nicest. Oh man, I worked hard on this to make it look this nice. So very, very, very simple. You're teleported, and if you try and go outside, it tests to see if you're inside a barrier block, and if you are, it'll say, whoops, you went outside the barrier, and it'll teleport you back as if you had clicked the chat to go back. So yeah, that's basically how that works. Now I'm going to show you the command blocks behind it. So game mode 1. When you press this, it all works with nearest player. So what it does is it sets your score. It gives you a score of spec 1. So yeah, I have a scoreboard objective called spec, and it sets your score of that objective to 1, and then it puts you in game mode 3, which is spectator mode, and it also clears your inventory. It makes you leave any teams, and then it teleports you to the desired location. Now this is very important, because only players with a score of spec 1, if I come over here, this is a very slow clock. Now if I look in this command block, now this is a very long tellraw command, but see it says click me to exit spec mode. You can see all this code and stuff. So yeah, tellraw at all players that have a score of spec minimum of 1. So when you're in spectator mode, like I just saw, when you press that button, that command block will give you a score, and that way only players with that score will have this tellraw. So if I typed in the command like scoreboard, players, add, BuildMineSurvive, spec 1, now that comes up in the chat for me, just like with the command block. So if I click it, it works, but then since every time you go into that box, your scores get reset. That's basically the ultimate reset box. When the game ends, you go in that box. All these command blocks are on a clock with a radius of 7 around them. So if you get near them, it'll do all that. It'll put you into game mode 2, which is adventure mode. It'll also take you off any teams, clear all your scoreboard objectives, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that is it. And also how this works, this is a fill clock that is just filling and refilling a redstone block and stone very, 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 very quickly. And so this is basically repeating all these command blocks. You're gonna need a decently good server to run this. I can play this on LAN with people, and it seems to hold up decently well on my computer. And I don't have the greatest computer, but yeah, my computer is pretty much just good enough for recording. If my computer was any worse, the recording would be too laggy and I wouldn't be able to record any videos. So all this does is test for any players that are on a team that's called blue. And so yeah, and this does the same thing except for team called red. And as you can see, there's one player that's on team red, which is me. And so if there were 2 players on team red, it would execute a signal of 2 or a signal of 3, depending on how many players there were, until it got all the way to the end. So yeah, and what these command blocks do, when one player is there, it triggers this command block, which is scoreboard set red players to 1. So it'll set a player that is named red. Now, of course, there's no player that I know of that is named red, but it'll set his score to 1, which is in the sidebar. You see, teams that red is a player and blue is a player, but you don't actually need to get accounts for those players. You can just type in red to be a player, and it'll come up in the scoreboard in the sidebar. Even if I was to do scoreboard player set like a username like that, it would show up in the sidebar, even though I'm pretty sure nobody has that username. You can pick any sort of name or settings that you want, and to make their names colored like I did, you just make it so that the team color option is set to blue or red. Now that's mostly what there is for this map. There's quite some more little details, like some of these command blocks over here for some of the stuff like in the book when you click the button for fireworks, but that's kind of unnecessary, and if you want to learn all that, you can check it out for yourself in the map download in the description. Also, as soon as a team wins, basically what it'll do, it'll say it in the chat, and then it'll get rid of the redstone right here, and the redstone right here is to stop any more teams from potentially winning. Say it was like a quick battle or a water fight, and the other player was about to die. That way, that wouldn't happen. And then also, it sets a block to redstone block, and then it quickly sets it to air. And it does that for both sides. And the block that it sets a redstone block to right here. So this will actually start the sequence. So this will trigger the sign to say the map is resetting. This puts an armor stand named Jeffrey that's invisible and nobody can ever see it right underneath the barriers under the water in the middle of the map, and he is the guy that is used to reset the map. And so at the very end, what happens is, if I can find the command block real quick, so yeah, it'll execute at entity name equals Jeffrey, which is, there's only one thing named Jeffrey, and it's the armor stand, and it'll kill all entities within an 80 block radius, including Jeffrey itself. I know it's sad, it's like a suicide bombing armor stand. The armor stand gets put there, and then it kind of kills itself, but what it does, within an 80 block radius, that reaches pretty much all the way up to the top here, and all the way to the edges, and all the way around, so it should clear any entities, and any entities that it didn't clear will just fall to the ground because all of the blocks were cleared, and in the next game all those entities would probably be gotten rid of. If I cleared the radius anymore, it might start interfering with stuff up here, which I don't really want it to. These heads aren't loaded. They're gonna be, these heads will be loaded eventually. Next time I'm able to load them. Right now they're not loaded. All these heads are loaded. You got Grazer's head and Parker and H and Grape Applesauce and Rusher and Tibbsy. And if you're wondering why these heads look like me, it's because I'm using a texture pack to make Steve look like me, because a lot of these videos I record offline, so I have to use a texture pack that makes my skin appear instead of Steve's skin, because nobody wants to look at boring Steve. Ew, gross. So yeah, that's what I do. So this is the game. I've tried to make it as easy to use as possible, as with all my minigames. You just get on, you walk into the area to join a team. It's literally that simple. And to spectate, you click a button. If you want to know rules and stuff, you get a book. And then once you have enough players, you can press the button and the game will start. And it's automatic reset. And so yeah, you don't need to know anything about Redstone. All you need to do is know how to move them around in Minecraft and to press buttons and know how to read. That's basically all you need to know to operate this map. So yeah, this has been Creative Wars, one of my favorite minigames, along with Kit PvP, which will be updates soon. Shortly, there's some new updates to the kits. There's fireballs for the Archer kit, and there's also a wither radius for the kit Brawler. So that is some pretty interesting stuff coming soon to the PvP map, which will be updated pretty soon. I'd say about a couple weeks or so. So yeah, this has been Creative Wars, and please go to the description and play it. Unless you're watching this on Planet Minecraft, then good for you. And if you made it this far, then wow, you must actually like Redstone instead of just getting a demonstration of the map, which is what most people would watch the video for, I'm thinking. But if you actually learned something, please remember to leave a comment and subscribe. Even if you didn't learn something, leave a comment and subscribe. I don't really mind, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody. Woo! Oh yeah.